Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I rise to give my support to Budget 2023, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Minister Dr. Ashley Singh, Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, and his hard-working team for preparing yet another historic budget. A budget that will definitely continue to solidify the foundation of work set by the PPP government when we took office in late 2020, and one that will definitely lead us to prosperity. Mr. Speaker, many may ask, what is in this budget for me, or how would my family and I benefit? Well, the answer is simple, because like every budget presented to this honorable House under the PPP government, growth and development of our country and its people always take precedence. Mr. Speaker, if we are to do a comparison of the state of affairs of our country from the year 2015 to 2020 and August 2020 to 2023, we would have a clear understanding of where we were, what we have accomplished so far, and where we are heading. Mr. Speaker, it would be remiss of me to not remind my fellow Guyanese brothers and sisters of the turmoil and neglect we face as a nation under the APNU AFC administration, now main opposition. Mr. Speaker, they took away the Because We Care cash grant from our school children. Over 7,000 sugar workers were fired. They increased their salaries from 50 to more or less 100%. They placed VAT on water and electricity, building materials, fertilizers, VAT on data, medical supplies, and over 200 food items. They fired over 2,000 Amerindian CSOs, placing our Amerindian brothers and sisters on the breadline. Additionally, we saw in the 2020 budget, the now main opposition also voted against an $800 million budget for indigenous development. This, Mr. Speaker, are some of the clear indications that even in opposition, there are a group of persons who will always be against development in our country. Mr. Speaker, as if this was not enough, even our very rights to elect a government of our choice came under attack as we witnessed the attempt to alter the course of the March 2nd, 2020 elections. Nevertheless, we remain valiant, and our never-ending resilience will only continue to build us stronger together. Mr. Speaker, as time would not permit me to examine all that which we have accomplished thus far as a government since we took office in 2020, indeed there is much to be proud of and even more to look forward to. Already we have seen the Because We Care cash grant reinstated, and this year it has increased to $35,000 per school child. The school uniform grant has now increased to $5,000, which will see our children in both the public and private schools receiving a total of $40,000. Mr. Speaker, our senior citizens of pensionable age can now enjoy an increase of their old age pension, along with VAT-free water and electricity. Mr. Speaker, we continue to see that over 200 food items, VAT were removed from over 200 food items, and Guyanese are now able to enjoy same. So far, Mr. Speaker, we have rehired a total of 1,479 sugar workers and have assisted several sugar workers with a total of $250,000 cash grant. Mr. Speaker, we have also seen the removal of VAT from building materials, mining equipment, medical supplies, among other amenities. And of course, Mr. Speaker, this has removed the heavy tax burden placed upon the shoulders of Guyanese citizens and is now able to put more money in the pockets of our citizens. Mr. Speaker, earlier we heard The honorable member, Mr. Cox, mentioned that Amerindians are not offered or not afforded any sort of development and are left in the struggle. But Mr. Speaker, if we examine the development so far that our Amerindian brothers and sisters have received and that which we will be receiving for 2023. Mr. Speaker, so far, as a result of a caring PPC government, my fellow Amerindian brothers and sisters are now able to enjoy and experience true development provided by our government in various sectors, as they can now be able to enjoy new opportunities and be able to give back to their communities by developing new skills through the CSO program. Over 400 indigenous youths from hinterland communities were able to enjoy various opportunities. Our indigenous communities will be able to benefit from the construction of ICT hubs. Our youth will be able to benefit from training in tourism and hospitality, business development, garment construction, just to name a few. Mr. Speaker, in the area of health, this year's budget caters for the construction of 4 telemedicine centers in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. Now, this will allow patients to be reviewed and managed in real time and provide quality diagnosis and treatment, thus boosting our indigenous remote communities with modern health care. Mr. Speaker, a total of $237 million will go towards the upgrade of the Karasbai, Anai, and Sand Creek Health Centers. And this will see these centers equipped with radiology and laboratory services, which will, of course, afford residents access to much-deserved quality and standard health care. Mr. Speaker, our health facilities in the hinterland were also able to benefit from the injection of human resources, and for the very first time, residents in Shulinab, Whitewater, and Monkey Mountain will be able to have access to a resident doctor within their respective communities. Mr. Speaker, so far communities such as Maruka and Mabaruma will benefit from maternal waiting homes. This is something that I must say is commendable, and our indigenous mothers will definitely benefit significantly from this. Mr. Speaker, other initiatives such as one that will aim to ensure expectant mothers in the hinterland regions to have at least one ultrasound and be assessed at least once by an obstetrician during her pregnancy. Mr. Speaker, we will also see the training of 29 birth attendants in regions 1 and 9, and this will also be a major contribution to these categories of patients. Mr. Speaker, as I now turn my attention to Region 3, it is clear from all indications that this region is well on its way on becoming one of Guyana's main economic hubs. Mr. Speaker, commuters will now be able to benefit from a new 4-lane bridge across the Demerara River, and this will see persons saving time and the ease of the heavy traffic burden experienced on a daily basis. Further, Mr. Speaker, the Schooner to Crane Highway will also be a major investment, as residents will be able to now afforded the option of easier access to and from the Demerara Harbor Bridge. Mr. Speaker, residents of Region 3 have benefited thus far from numerous roads built within various communities such as Parika, Sila, Tushin, Parfait, Harmony, just to name a few. Mr. Speaker, also in keeping with our manifesto promise of allotting 50,000 house lots within the first term in office, over 2,000 residents are now able to enjoy access to house lots and will be able to fulfill their dreams of owning their own home. Mr. Speaker, residents of Wakenham are now benefiting from potable water, as just last August of 2022, a new well was commissioned by His Excellency President Irfan Ali, which will also see other communities in Region 3 benefit from similar development. Mr. Speaker, when we took office in 2020, The health sector countrywide was in a state of despair. Today, as we continue to rebuild and restore quality health care to our citizens, residents of Region 3 will be beneficiaries of a new hospital that is expected to be constructed in the Dekendron area. Already 30 of the 36 health centers and health posts within the region have benefited from infrastructural upgrades, which will also see and allow easier access to patient care. Mr. Speaker, in the height of the rising COVID-19 cases in 2021, the Accident and Emergency Department at the West Demerara Regional Hospital was repurposed to a COVID-19 unit, and this being the second unit of this nature in the country, to the tune of 80 million Guyana dollars. Mr. Speaker, as our government continues on a robust COVID-19 vaccination program, a total of 69,342 persons have so far received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. A total of 54,173 persons have received their second dose, while 10,655 persons have received their first booster. Mr. Speaker, our health caregivers now have access to sufficient PPEs as compared to what we received under the coalition government at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Speaker, as we continue on the pathway to transformative developments, our secondary school children in Region 3 are now enjoying a state-of-the-art $1 billion secondary school at the Parfait Harmony area. And this being the first facility to be completed under the Guyana Secondary Education and Improvement, a government initiative aimed at achieving universal education. Mr. Speaker, so far, a total of 1,429 young people have benefited from the Gold Scholarship, an ongoing program that will see at least 20,000 persons accessing advanced tertiary education. Mr. Speaker, our children will continue to benefit from the school feeding programs and also be able to access new and improved infrastructures in various communities such as Tushin and Wickham. Mr. Speaker, as time may be against me, and I may not be able to further dissect into the 2023 budget, I can assure my fellow Guyanese that your future, your children and your grandchildren's future will continue to be safe and secured under the PPPC government. I therefore commend Budget 2023 to be passed in this honorable House. Thank you.